Hello. Welcome back to Almighty Sports. And yes, just a reminder that यहाँ पर भी हम बात करते हैं obviously a lot of it. So hopefully we'll have a lot of people joining. और आप सोच रहे हो भाई आज क्या टॉपिक है भाई? Listen, let's be real. As much as we want to speak about a lot of series, ये match, वो match, etc. Bottom line ये है that as Indian cricket fans, we are all reeling somewhere on the line कि भाई हमने जीता नहीं ICC tournament and that is something that we are longing cannot wait for the World Cup to begin. और मैं हमेशा वही अपने मन में टीम बनाते रहता हूँ ये होगा वो होगा तो let's discuss who are the potential and deserving members of that Indian squad which is going to play at home host the World Cup. What will be the squad? Lekin even before that, what are we expecting from the rest of the West Indies tour as well as Asia Cup, or of course the Asian Games squad as well? A lot of it that we have to discuss. So we have Abel in the house. Abel, how are you doing, my brother?
I'm doing good, Ankit Bhaiya. How are you doing? Hope you're doing good and pleasure to be here once again.
Always. Predator Gaming in the house. What's up? Yes, Gaurav, जैसे मैंने बोला, I hope you got it. What the topic is, and yes, Man City fan. अभी भी ये भी मेरे पास notification आया है that your week has happened. But कोई नहीं, we'll keep it to cricket in this particular stream. And if time permits, I'll take a questions towards the end. और हाँ, सबसे पहले शुरू होते ही पहले बोलता हूँ, early morning stream भी on Almighty Blue, so there we'll continue our football conversations. तो भाई सबसे पहले, let's be real that when it comes to Indian team selection. It has been a huge issue, not just from the last couple of months, but the last couple of years. In fact, the last couple of ICC tournaments, I would say.
Hmm.
And we know that there are certain things that we all remember. Number four spot in the 2019 World Cup and the 3D cricketer and all those things that happened. Even before that, I remember the World Cup. I think Stuart Binney was there. I remember that particular debatable position. There's always मतलब दो तीन
Hmm.
पोजीशन होते हैं चैट क्या बोल रहे हो आप लोग that are always debatable. But first and foremost, of course, India has just got a victory in the test match and Asian Games squad has been announced. But with that Asian Games squad, Abel, is it telling you that maybe these guys will not be selected in the World Cup? Because there are mixed kind of reports coming in that no Yashasvi Jaiswal, etc., could still join the team who
Hmm.
are in preparation of the World Cup. क्योंकि इंडिया का पहला मैच शायद if I'm not wrong is around October 10th, right?
Yeah.
लेकिन October 5th से वर्ल्ड कप शुरू हो रहा है और जो उसका कैंप है obviously will start in mid September itself. So
Yeah.
I think that is something which is possible. But in an ideal situation, won't you want a proper squad going to the Asian Games, a proper squad going to the World Cup? Well, where are you on that? Should we allow a couple of players to play for both?
So I mean, it's a very interesting conundrum at this point of stage because a lot of people say the ones who are going to Asian Games will not feature in the 2023 World Cup. So that is still early days to say so or speculated because I still think Asian Games I think will start by September 19th is what I'm expecting. Asian Games to start. It'll go till October 8th, and October 8th is India's first game. So
Correct.
if you look at the time period as well, it looks like most of these players will not be part of the World Cup. That is how it looks like. But I'm very surprised because there are some names like Arshdeep Singh, which is who I thought will be an integral part of the World Cup squad. And I am very surprised that he will, if he's not going to be traveling to the World Cup, I know who is going to be there because you need someone like Arshdeep Singh. I know what Indian team is going to be doing with Arshdeep Singh. Okay, Yashasvi Jaiswal, I still can agree to the fact that um, he's not played a one-day match. I think India already zeroed in on the kind of players India want as openers, which look like Shubman and Rohit, and possibly the third opener is going to be Ishan Kishan, is what I feel personally because he brings in that keeping element, and also we have KL Rahul, also an outside chance out there. Well, it depends on his fitness and when he's going to be back as well. So yeah, most likely there's going to be the fact that Asian Games players will not be part of the World Cup squad, and it's maybe slightly unfortunate for some players who I thought could be in with a chance. At least I thought Ashdeep Singh was one player. Uh, Ruturaj Gaikwad as well. He also had an outside chance for that matter. But other than that, almost everybody, they look like players who are going to be part of the reserve squad and who will not get a chance in the World Cup. And it's very clear who the 15 for the World Cup are going to be because with the kind of players who have been featuring in the West Indies ODI series as well, they are the ones who will most likely feature in the World Cup. And I'm very surprised that they have left out Mukesh Kumar. I thought Mukesh Kumar, if he's not part of your World Cup squad, why is he even part of the one-day squad here in West Indies? So that those are things which selectors will have to answer, because our selection committee is still very dicey. And today the Asia Cup schedule is announced. I think the squad which will go to Asia Cup will go to the World Cup as well.
ओके तो भाई यहाँ पर एबल हैज स्पोकन. अगर हम अगेन विल बी आई आस्क्ड अ समरी, बट लेट्स गो वन बाय वन टू द प्लेयर नेम, द पोजीशन, जो हम पोजीशन से शुरू करते हैं. देखिए मतलब अगेन आई जेन्युइनली बिलीव दैट एक्सपेक्टिंग दीज एशियन गेम्स प्लेयर्स टू प्ले द वर्ल्ड कप इज नॉट रियलिस्टिक. That's how it is. And kahin na kahin we have a lot of openers options, or Ruturaj Gaikwad for me along with Yashasvi Jaiswal might have missed out for that reason. Even Rahul Tripathi beat. लेकिन मैंने उसके बारे में पोल भी डाला था एवरीवन द चैट. मतलब सबसे ज्यादा सरप्राइजिंग नेम ऑब्वियसली अर्शदीप हैज बीन इन द पोल रिजल्ट, जैसे एबल ने बोला है. 100% अर्शदीप, क्योंकि he brings that left arm seamer element, he brings that ability to swing even in Indian conditions, not in abroad conditions only, and the fact that he has a slow delivery, he has different things. जो आप जानते ही हो, be it World Cup scenarios, there will be a lot of things that at play, so people will go for it towards the end of overs. So I think Arshdeep would have been a brilliant choice. लेकिन again मतलब आप देखो तो even standby list में I can even argue that maybe even a Venkatesh Iyer not even there in the Asian Games main team, but in the standbys of this, so maybe standbys को थोड़ा सा chance है. लेकिन the fact that making even Asian Games का team, it is quite obvious that they will not make the World Cup squad. Deepak Hooda is a prime example, obviously played the T20 World Cup if I remember right recently, right? लेकिन again आप लोग अगर बोल रहे हो the most surprising name is probably Arshdeep, आप लोग बोले apart from that आवेश खान. मतलब मैं I know बहुत negative नहीं बात करेंगे. Everyone in the chat agrees. The fact is Avesh Khan is in Asian Games, and of course I would like to get a gold medal in the Asian Games as well, being an Indian. लेकिन आवेश खान being in the Asian Games is a slight positive from the fact that अच्छा चलो at least आवेश खान नहीं होगा World Cup में. मतलब Abel, what are you thinking? Chat, what are you thinking on that?
Yeah, I mean, I agree with you, because we've not seen a lot of Avesh Khan in the last couple of seasons, at least after the Asia Cup the downfall which he's had. Even in the IPL, he was there and thereabouts, but not quite the Avesh Khan we know of the past, right? Running in and bowling and trying to get the ball to skid through the batter's defense. That was Avesh Khan's trait which he had, and I think injury to an extent has really affected him, and the bowling rhythm. Since last IPL, he's really lost his bowling rhythm, which he's not been able to regain. And he was never a part of the one-day squad for me. Even if Avesh Khan was ever going to come into Indian squad, it was only through T20s, and that was his only strong 40 for that liking, where he could come in and ball in those 4 overs, ball those Yorkers, hit the deck hard. He was never a one-day baller. He never got that shout in. But other than that, I personally think another player I would have really loved to have seen Asian Games with Sai Sudarshan. Lad just scored 100 today against Pakistan. He looks in very good touch. I know, why didn't he not get a shout in for the Asian Games? I know he's getting the chance for India A and stuff, but I thought I would have loved to see him in Asian Games. But talking about World Cup, at least I personally think when you look at different aspects of the bowling team as well, right? I personally think Avesh Khan was never in top 5, at least in that bowling pecking order, because he never featured in one-day squad for India. I think the only time he featured was way back in 2022. It was in South Africa series where he got a shout in. But other than that, he never really featured in that one-day score, and he was never part of the pecking order as well. So it was obviously the very clear sign from selectors that it was going to be Siraj, Shami, Bumrah, who are going to be a top 3, provided Bumrah is going to be fit and fine. And thirdly, when you talk about a fourth seamer, in my opinion, should have been Arshdeep Singh. But I don't know who's going to be the fourth seamer now. Is it going to be Unadkat? Is it going to be someone else you're going to bring in? So this is very
what? I have a name in mind. मैंने इसके बारे में एक और पोल डाला था people, and that's the reason I want your inputs as well, people in the chat. I know we might go on with one more experienced player like a Bhuvi, which I don't see realistically happening. That's one of the options. But I think अगर आप सोचो तो I think Deepak Chahar has to be that guy. I think he is the.
I think Shardul Thakur will get that nod ahead of Ankit Bhaiya, primarily because of what.
God. Yet again, matlab, test match mein we had the same conversation, right? The last week as well.
Last week as well. But it's unfortunate, but I see that I see the captain going that way, because for some reason Rohit Sharma has got this some sort of trust in Shardul Thakur that he'll come in and win 2 matches for India somewhere down the line. But I think Shardul Thakur should not ideally be there part of any World Cup squad, in my opinion. But he will get the nod ahead. He's going to be India's 4th seamer. And India will go in with 3 spinners with Akshar, 4 spinners rather, with Jadeja, Akshar, Kuldeep and Chahal. That's going to be India's bowling core of 4 seamers, 3 bowlers, no, 2 bowlers, 2 all-rounders, and Hardik Pandya. Hardik Pandya is your technically your fourth seamer, come fifth seamer as well in the World Cup squad. So there's going to be India's bowling attack primarily. And if there's an injury by chance, God forbid there's no injury, then I see someone like Mukesh Kumar or Unath Kadrili getting a shot, or Ashdeep Singh.
इंटरेस्टिंग ओके भाई हम धीरे धीरे जाएंगे थोड़ा सा एबल हैज प्रॉब्ली गॉन द एक्सीलरेटर बटन मेरे दोस्त लेकिन कोई नहीं भाई सब लोग चैट में अगेन ऑलमाइटी फैम वेयर आर यू गाइस आई नो दैट कहीं ना कहीं आज ले स्ट्रीम की है बट जब मल्टीपल मैचेस आई वाज ऑन द स्ट्रीम आप लोग शायद कुछ लोग थे वहां पर तो भाई होपफुली यू गाइस एवरीवन हिट दैट लाइक बटन और गिव एबल अ फॉलो एज वेल ही नोज द स्टफ एबल का इंस्टाग्राम आईडी का हैंडल इज इन द डिस्क्रिप्शन पहला ही लाइन along with our other channel almighty blues fc tagged so guys if you can give able a follow brilliant and do not forget to like the stream that certainly helps like the stream and like the community post so that people know because I want to know your opinion and have a discussion about each and every position kahin na kahin we'll try to make a batting order as well as basically what is the ideal 11 what jo hum chahte hain aur jo hoga in terms of the World Cup and of course quick predictions about other teams as well just a very early prediction ठीक है लेकिन if you're talking about the schedule कहीं ना कहीं we all know being in India it helps लेकिन मतलब Abel do you think the choice of players probably is also depending upon where we play our group matches or you say that no it's irrespective of that
So you're talking about the World Cup, right? I think
yeah
it's tough for India to pick up team for just the ground conditions because we are going to be playing the first match in Chennai against Australia, which is a turning track. Then we go to play in Delhi against Afghanistan. We go to Ahmedabad. Three different tracks, you know. So you can't really pick a team depending on conditions. We go to Dharamshala where it's going to be more pacey, and you know that part of the year where it's going to be slightly more colder. You will see fast ballers coming into play, especially in Ahmedabad kind of conditions because I've repeated this. I think I've said this in the stream as well. In Ahmedabad, it's a very peculiar situation because sometimes in Ahmedabad, the ball tends to move around quite a lot, and especially that game against Pakistan is going to be so important for India, considering the conditions in Ahmedabad where the ball is going to be swinging later on in the evening. Then you will need a Mohammad Shami, Mohammad Siraj, and Jasprit Bumrah's burst up there. There you might play with 3 seamers. In Chennai, I expect India to go with 3 spinners ideally, where you will have Kuldeep, Akshar, and Jadeja mostly playing in that. Or maybe you can bring in Chahal, but considering the elongated batting order India would like to have, India will play in with 3 spinners of Akshar, Kuldeep, and Jadeja. But for me, what I'll be most disappointed is if Siraj Sharma and Bumrah doesn't play all the matches together. I know it's in India, whatever not, but if you're going to give Shardul Thakur the number 8 position just because he brings in a little bit of batting, I think that's going to really piss me off. Not going to lie, but that's going to be क्या बोलते हैं like पैर पे कुल्हाड़ी मारना वैसा type का situation. So that's not a good way to go. I think he's not going to give you a lot. I know he's going to pick up those rubbish wickets here and there, but let me be very honest. He's not your he's not your attacking third seamer. You need to go in with a very interesting mindset, and India will have to pick a squad looking at all ground conditions, and it's not going to be easy, to be honest.
Yeah. Aditya बोल रहे हैं Ankit भैया the more important question should be I believe about the spinners because spinners will definitely play an important role so who will be a spinners exactly देखिए यार देखिए मतलब again there are certain names who Indian think tank Indian kind of senior players kind of have been trusting of course the management first of all let's get the elephant out of the room and the first thing is anyone here and I mean anyone even one person in the chat believes that India should change captaincy at this point. Obviously, the answer is big no, right? So Rohit Sharma, let's be real, is the captain of the team. Okay, no two ways about it in terms of the World Cup. Again, we are sticking to the World Cup for now and come back to the West Indies because let's be real, everyone wants to talk about the World Cup and that's why we're playing West Indies. Okay, so Rohit Sharma obviously is there. In terms of batting order, again, you all know that we go batting order wise. In terms of the batting order, no two ways about Rohit and Shubman starting. Abel, chat, agreed.
I agree with you. Shubman and
Top
Rohit
two,
should
two ways
start.
about it.
I don't think.
Kohli number three. I
Yeah,
think top three, no, nothing to touch, right?
top 3 is
Uh,
locked, certainly.
correct. What about number 4 and 5? Everyone in the chat, आप लोग भी
So
बोलिए.
I'll give
India
you
का
number
ODC playing
6
left.
before I go to number 4 and 5. And
Yes,
those two
please.
positions are the most debatable position, number 4, 5. Like always, come the World Cup, that two positions are again up for catch. But number 6 is Hardik, number 7 is Jadeja. Let's log that in. Those are your two all-rounders who will be there. Or Hardik can bat number 5, but I prefer Hardik and number 6 in this team. Now, number 4, number 5, as you rightly mentioned, one should be a keeper. Now, we're not sure if Rahul can keep if he's going to come back into the team, because he just had a major injury when it comes to his uh, his hamstring. I think it was a hernia, sports hernia kind of an injury. So
Yeah.
I don't think he'll be fit enough to come back and keep. So that is a rule out for Team India. India's balance over the last couple of years was based on Rahul, who's going to keep for the World Cup. And they had made it very clear that Rahul was going to be your number one keeper for the World Cup. Now that is ruled out most likely. Ishan Kishan is not going to be a preferred middle order bat. Now who is left? Sanju Samson. So I think somewhere there, Sanju Samson is India's keeper for the World Cup at number 5.
Wow. Wow. I didn't expect this. And but kahin na kahin, you know what? And that might be one of the reasons why he's there in the West Indies party. Kahin na
Yes.
kahin, that is also one of the reasons for me. And that is quite possible. अगर आप देखो वेस्ट इंडीज से, और हम बात किए थे वेस्ट इंडीज में क्यों, why, by the way, chat, why did we pick certain players, and there were a lot of question marks in bowling. We'll come to bowling. लेकिन there is a point यहाँ पर about Ishan Kishan, Sanju Samson. मतलब it could be that way as well, Abel, you're right, but at the same time it could be a sense it's for it's up for grabs. It's basically Ishan Kishan versus Sanju Samson. If Rahul and of course Pant are not fit, we know that, right? So that might be the thing. But having seen what KL Rahul and India think tank has been, I still believe, I personally still believe, मैं चाहता नहीं हूँ लेकिन मैं still believe करता हूँ कि यार अगर if he's fit, if he's fit, India is definitely picking him, even though he might not get a lot of games under his belt, and that is concerning for me. That should not happen.
Yeah, that
Do
should
you
not.
agree with that, with that point? मतलब the fact is game, the match practice जो होती है ना, मतलब I know Bumrah also comes in the same category. We'll come
Yeah.
to bowling, but how do
Mm.
you feel about that aspect? Because as a wicket keeper batsman, especially, I think you need even more match practice than just a normal player, right?
I agree with you, but Ankit bhai, if you remember last year as well, before the T20 World Cup, we made a very similar mistake with KL Rahul. Though we sent him to Zimbabwe series right before the Asia Cup, but he was definitely not in form any of there. And he came to Asia Cup, he looked like a chicken right out of a hatch, and he just did not know how to go about it. He was struggling throughout the Asia Cup. He struggled in the build up to the World Cup, and come the World Cup, he was nowhere in there. So KL Rahul, if he's going to come back out of injury, and you know the confidence that KL Rahul carries, he's a confidence player, and if he's going to find his feet in a tournament like World Cup, I'm sorry to say, then again we are calling for trouble. It's then again we are carrying KL Rahul for the sake of his name, not for anything else. And I think KL Rahul, if he proves match fitness by playing a lot of matches prior to Asia Cup, well and good. If he is not fit to go for Asia Cup, he does not find a spot in the 15 for the World Cup. And for me, for that very reason, and Ishan Kishan not a good fit for the middle order. I know Ishan Kishan has done well in IPL middle order in 2020. I agree with that. A lot of people will now come and say that Ishan
Bro,
Kishan did
double
well,
century.
but in the opening position, right? Not in the middle order. So that's what I'm trying to say. Uh, can he do a job in a 50 over format in the middle order? It's concerning. I'm not quite sure if he's got that. Vishan Kishan's best of times, even in IPL or even the recent past in white ball, has come at the top of the order. Now, I don't think he's suited. He's mentally ready to bat middle order, or else it should start from this West Indies series saying that Ishan, we are looking at you as a keeper for the World Cup. Start batting middle order. No matter from now till the World Cup, you'll get every game. You're not going to be dropped regardless of your failure. Now, that's one way to go about it. Or else, Sanju, you're getting all the games. You're going to back you to the tilt. Go out there and play the way we want you to. But now the question comes, who's your number 4? Is it Shreyas? Is it Surya?
That's the biggest aspect. Again, मतलब हम भाई cycle चल रहा है. देखा, Aritra has a brilliant point. Everyone agrees with this. Sanju Samson performing consistently that immediately rejects him from BCCI selection criteria. I see the sarcasm there, Aritra, absolutely. I will pick Shreyas Iyer than KL. भाई पुदिन, Shreyas Iyer का भी same चीज नहीं है. Shreyas Iyer also has not played a lot of cricket. I know that he could definitely अभी सुनने में आ रहा, again people like Bumrah, Rahul, Shreyas Iyer might be part of the Asian Cup squad. लेकिन like Abel said, कहीं ना कहीं Asia Cup is so close to that World Cup that one would expect 95%, maybe just one change from that Asia Cup 11 to the World Cup 11. I'm talking about the playing 11. Trust me. अगर हम playing 11 भी change करें, then there's a problem in Indian cricket overall, which is huge, bigger than what we think it is. And I again, हम playing 11 की पहले बात करें, फिर हम we are coming to substitutes. Remember, so I would say either of them. मतलब, if I'm being very honest, and I'm saying as a cricket fan, proper someone who's played cricket as well as been a fan, you guys know it, and you guys will do the same. Shreyas Iyer, KL Rahul, both of them should not go to the World Cup squad, in my personal opinion. And I feel that yes, बहुत लोग बोल रहे हैं, Surya is not for the one day cricket format, etc. Come on, we're talking about Surya Kumar Yadav. I know
Yeah,
somewhere down the line, KL Rahul also changed his game in certain formats, and that is why he became a player that we don't like as
Mhm.
much as what he used to in the first year when
Yeah,
he started cricket in terms of
yeah,
international cricket. लेकिन I think Surya का mentality is अलग यार. I think
yeah.
that we need that. हम बोलते हैं ना, we want to play like England, etc. I think playing at
Mhm.
home, you are playing at home, remember, and this is someone who's experienced in home conditions a lot. People forget a lot of times,
Yeah.
as much as he's not ODI में इतना experienced,
I'll give
but
a very
in terms of
simple proposition, Ankit Bhaiya. If
Hmm.
India are to be 10 for 3 against Pakistan in Ahmedabad chasing 250, would you have a KL Rahul walk in, or would you have a Shreyas Iyer walk in, or a Surya Kumar Yadav walk in? That's my question.
Personally, I would take Surya Kumar any day of the week. Malab again, maybe I'm a, say for example, a Yuvraj Singh kind of a fan. For me, I like that kind of a cricketer who is a game changer. Surya is a game changer.
Exactly.
Simple as that.
He can go out there and play a counter-attacking innings and possibly win that game for
Exactly.
India. Now, Shreyas Iyer, number one, he's found out in a lot of levels. I know he's a phenomenal player. He's got that heart in him, but he can't face short ball. And do you think world teams have not taken a note of it? He's already struggled. He struggled in India. I remember one of the matches he played in IPL against Umran Malik. He was running away from the ball. And that for me was a very scary sight, saying that he's an India number 5 test batter. I mean, if he's going to do this in Indian conditions against not the most fastest bowlers, what is he going to do in conditions where you're going to see a Shaheen Afridi, Haris Rauf going to run in and ball shot at you? Will you be able to take it? I know you've got a lot of talent in terms of your heart, you've got that extra bit of desire to go out there and succeed. But for me, the fact of the matter is, Surya Kumar Yadav edges past. I know he's in his last 3 ODI matches, he did not do well. He had 3 continuous ducks, etc., etc. But the fact of the matter is, Surya Kumar Yadav is for me India's best white ball player at the moment, and he can do it. I know his stats in one day cricket doesn't speak, but you give him that clarity, he can go out there and do a job for India.
No, I agree. See, again, I know it's just a West Indies tour. हम बात कर रहे हैं midway when a test match is about to begin. लेकिन let's be real. कहीं ना कहीं they also have to prove themselves. I'm not going to say that they are walking into the side, but considering that Shreyas Iyer and KL Rahul have they, मतलब अगर आदित्य, I see your comment, पुदिन आपका भी comment दिख रहा है मुझे. लेकिन मैं यहाँ पर गौर करिए जो मैं बोल रहा हूँ. Everyone, again, put in your comments and let me know. I believe that even if they were fit, I don't think they would have walked into the 11 anyway. There is a debate in that aspect as well. I know Shreyas Iyer you can still to some extent debate more
Yeah,
than a KL Rahul. KL
yeah,
Rahul is more comes from, for whatever reason he's got the backing, and I know that he's got a class in him, but let's be real, he's not done that for a while now
yeah,
consistently. I know number 5 position में हमने try किया था, and you can say in terms of stats he has worked, but come on, he's not what India actually needs, and India who are
yeah.
so deprived, so hungry for ICC tournaments, I don't think ideally, मतलब he's nowhere close. Bottom line क्या है? He's nowhere close to Yuvraj Singh.
Yeah, for
That is
me,
what I'm
the
trying to say.
question is, can he do it for India in a big game? Like, can he walk out in the semi-final and do it for Team India when the situation is very
Or in
tough for
back
India?
to back big games, even in group stages, I would say, not even in semi-finals. मतलब I would question that itself. आप देखो, I know again आप लोग बोलोगे सूर्य कुमार यादव has not done it, तो why give that? लेकिन वही है, आप अगर यहाँ पर हम 3 लोगों की बात करें, and people can give me other names. If there are other names at number 4, maybe Hardik, is a better number 4. You get someone like give a break all of a sudden. I know Rinku again is in the Asian Games, so it's not possible. Tilak Verma could have been a possibility, but again he's there if I'm not wrong. So I think options become lesser if you put Hardik at number 4 in ODI match for India. So we are talking about what? Shreyas, KL Rahul, and Surya. If all three are fit and fine, they are match fit, still there is a level of debate factor in all in the three. It's not like anyone is so convincing. And that is where, and when it such a thing happens, आप किसके साथ जाते हो? आप जाते हो उस बंदे के साथ who could win you matches
Yeah,
in a half an hour knock. And that is what, compared to maybe a KL Rahul or even a Shreyas Iyer, I personally believe Surya is that guy, and that is why I'm going. I'm not trying to
yeah.
say that Surya is proven or something. Don't get me wrong.
Mhm.
हार्दिक का फॉर्म पिछले 1 साल से बहुत खराब है इंडिया के लिए, कंसर्न फिनिश में, लेकिन Lokendra, maybe that might be an excuse for India. I'm just saying for the devil's advocate part of it, Abel, that
Yeah,
because Hardik's form with the bat has not been as what it used to be, maybe it is a better approach to go with Hardik at number four because he has the experience to play himself in and not play that finisher or hard hitter's role. Matlab, would you consider that and get in someone like just Tilak Verma from the Asian Games? And I'm just saying someone like that and give a break, or for that matter, for all we know, it could be again the all rounders. Just play instead
yeah.
of हमने जो बोला ना दो spinner play Jadeja, Aksar, both along with Chahal. It'll be too much.
Uh, yeah, I mean, for me personally, I would say that see, Jadeja and Akshar is a toss out. I think Jadeja gets that nod ahead because of that very factor which he carries. But there are certain grounds where both of them can play, and Chennai being one of them. Against Australia, I think three spinners is a viable option for Team India against Australia in Chennai, where Akshar, Jadeja, and Kuldeep will be India's preferred option. But other than that, when it comes to, as you rightly mentioned, when it comes to batting, so even I was reading a report today that they're looking at KL Rahul as a keeper for the World Cup. Now, the question is, this guy just is coming off a thigh injury, right? And for keepers, one of the most toughest thing is to climb up and come down and go up for 300 odd balls in 50 overs. And we're not even talking about a T20. The lad has not even kept an IPL. I thought this IPL he'll be keeping, considering the fact that he was going to be one of the options for WTC Final as well. I thought he would be the ones who will be keeping, but did not show any interest. Now, on what basis are we going to kill Rahul? Now, it's very clear that he's not going to be fit for the Ireland series. So, which means we'll have to wait till Asia Cup to take a call as to who's going to be our keeper.
And it's
Now,
really
we
late.
select,
It's really late, bro.
it's very late. It's very late. Now, okay, let's say we select our keeper by Asia Cup. Now, what is the chance that KL Rahul is going to go out there and give me assurance that he's going to go out there and score runs? Now, we'll say he failed in Asia Cup. Like last year, we're going to be like, oh, it's fine. KL is going to come good by World Cup. World Cup is at home. He's going to do this and that. Come the World Cup against Australia, against Pakistan, he fails. Now, we are going to be looking for keeping options there. And we will not have any backup there. Ishan would not have played any matches in the middle order. Sanju would not be in the squad. And then we are absolutely clueless. We are trying to change the squad in the middle of the World Cup. Like exactly what happened for this World Cup. KL Rahul was failing. We wanted to replace. People were like, let's bring in Rishabh Pant for the T20 World Cup as an opening slot. But by then it was too late. It was too late by then. We did not have any option. We had no way back. So it is always very important to make these bold calls before the World Cup. I don't think we should go to KL Rahul just because he's a name. And for me, he's a phenomenal player. If he would have stayed fit, if he would have had a decent end to the IPL, and if he would have played well in the recent past games, then maybe I would have been like, okay, let's give KL Rahul a chance. And I'm not against KL Rahul at number 5 in ODI. But for me, the issue is his fitness, no match practice. And that for me is against, you're doing a crime to your own self at the end of the day. Why do you want to go to KL Rahul when you have options? You have so many options. It's not like KL Rahul is the only wicketkeeper batter in India. And he's the only guy who can bat number 5. I think Sanju, if you're going to give him in the West Indies series, I think the vision should be that Sanju should be starting on October 9th for Australia. With that mindset, you give Sanju a chance in West Indies. I think that's the only way to go ahead. And for me, another area is number 4. I don't think Surya is fit to play number 4 for Team India. Uh, I'm being very honest. Surya is not a number 4 in one day cricket. Surya can be a number 5, number 6 for India in one day cricket. Sanju again is a number 5 for Team India. So the question again comes, maybe because of this very reason, Shreyas will get a nod ahead of Surya in the World Cup.
नहीं लेकिन I think Sanjeev makes a brilliant point as well as Pudin यहाँ पर about that left hand right hand which you have मतलब हर एक स्ट्रीम में भाई वो बात करते ही है. We cannot say that it's not needed. I think कहीं ना कहीं we know that it matters when it comes to modern day cricket or especially when it comes to power play etc. Of course it matters, right? तो वहां पर again coming back to the West Indies tour जो चल रहा है अभी, and that is why we are doing the stream right now क्योंकि right now I was very disappointed. I don't know about you guys, totally different format. I know कहीं ना कहीं, लेकिन even in that first test match, why did Jadeja come before Ishan Kishan to bat? I have no idea. If we want really Ishan Kishan to take responsibility and get in that form, just get to a purple patch, just get him as many balls possible at international level, be it test cricket or whatever. For me, I need, if we are looking at a left-hand batsman, Ishan Kishan directly comes into the frame, and I think that is the difference. Maybe a Venki Iyer ho sakta tha Pudin, lekin Venki
Hmm.
Iyer is there in the Asian Games, and that is why probably he'll not be there. Again, he's a standby, so could be possibility. Remember, one more, not just left-hand Abel and everyone in the chat. What about, we are all banking on Hardik Pandya to bowl you some overs, right? Worst case, I know we are still playing in India and there will be rules about getting a keeping standby, etc. I understand that. लेकिन would you consider, एकदम out of the box मैं बोल रहा हूँ यहाँ पर, guys, again a guy who is there in the Asian Games and has played for India, Shivam Dube, just saying it out there. मतलब is it an option even? क्योंकि लेफ्ट हैंड की बात हो रही है.
No, not
हार्दिक
in
is
one
not
day.
able to hit as much. नहीं, no.
Not in one
तो
day cricket. Certainly not.
and the reason I'm saying these names is again just for the sake of discussion. I know, लेकिन कहीं ना कहीं the reason I'm saying is because we have an Asian Games और वहां पर already एक set जा रहे हैं. That includes people like Rinku Singh and Tilak Verma, two left-handers who could hit, and they are in the playing 11 in the Asian Games in my opinion. हम उसका
Yeah.
भी playing 11 कर सकते हैं, but in my opinion they might actually both be in the playing 11 of the Asian Games. Shivam Dube, I have my doubts over him playing in the playing 11 of Asian Games.
Yeah.
Or maybe he might be a possibility to pull off. Just as an example, अगर हमें चाहिए someone who's able to be a number 4, number 5 who could bat
Mhm.
left-handed. अगर ये सब हम क्यों बात करें, again assuming, and I genuinely believe KL Rahul will not be match fit when it comes to the World Cup, when it comes to the Asia Cup के बाद में all of a sudden we cannot just pick KL Rahul, and that's again the same mistake that we are making. Again, यहाँ पर ओम का कमेंट ले लेते जल्दी से. नो वे प्लेइंग स्काई वर्ल्ड कप वुड बी अ बैड डिसीजन. उससे अच्छा राहुल को ले लो. ओम, राहुल इन अ नॉर्मल सिनेरियो, यस इट्स डिबेटेबल, आई वुड हैव बीन ओके विद. जो एबल ने बोला दैट वी आर लुकिंग एट हिम एज अ कीपर बैट्समैन, ठीक है, आई वुड नॉट माइंड. जैसे राहुल द्रविड़ ने किया 2003 में, फेयर इनफ. But Rahul Dravid in that moment was in a purple patch. If people who would have seen, I've seen that era. He was in a purple patch. There's a huge difference between him and KL Rahul. KL Rahul is not in that. Plus, वो fitness से उभर रहा है अभी भी. So I think that is the thing. नहीं, ऋषभ तो ऑप्शन ही नहीं यार. अगर ऋषभ पंत was available, then I don't think this conversation, this stream was even needed for a batsman at least. नहीं क्या?
Yeah.
That is the
This
whole
debate
point.
was not even there. It was very clear who would have kept for India.
Yeah, though we are again, to repeat myself, we are looking at either an all-rounder, a batting all-rounder, or we are looking at either a wicket-keeper batsman, ideally who is
See, we
left-handed.
need a wicket keeper. That is for sure. So that one slot is just for a wicket keeper. So number 5 is going to be just for a wicket keeper. It is going to be between Sanju / Ishan / KL Rahul. For me, uh, it's going to be between Sanju and KL Rahul for two reasons. Because I don't see Ishan being a slot in one-day cricket in middle order, and I don't think he has got the game to go out there and grind an innings out and build an innings and take the game on. Because whatever you've seen of Ishan, he plays the new ball pretty well. Whatever his attacking game comes up top. And if you look at Ishan in the recent past, his strike rate has deteriorated quite a lot, especially when it comes to him trying to build an innings coming in the middle order. And you saw that in the IPL as well. He got that one season batting in middle order in 2020, but look at 2021, where he got that same opportunity. He was nowhere there. He was struggling to score runs, and that is something which you don't want. I mean, are you just giving Ishan Kishan a middle order role because he's a left-hander and you don't want him to score runs? I mean, in that case, you can even give Jadeja number 4. He's a good enough number 4 to come in and do a job. I mean, you don't have to give a batter number 4 just because he's a left-hander. What I really want to see is a batter going out there who can save India on a situation where we are 2 down in the power play, and on a day where he can come in the 30th over and accelerate. And for me, there are only 2 players who can do this, ideally. One is Surya, one is Shreyas. So the toss-up for number 4 is going to be between these two.
So your
And
option is Shreyas, is what I understand.
I'd saw my option. I'd go with Surya. My option would be Surya, but I think team's option is going to be Shreyas.
Oh, wow. You think so? I think it's the other way around. I think the team's option is going to be Sky. Again, it's just an opinion, guys, the way we look at
I
it
think so.
from. लेकिन मुझे लगता है that the fact is even Shreyas has not had a lot of cricket, right? कहीं ना
Yeah.
कहीं वही normal scenario में I agree with you. लेकिन because he's not had a lot of cricket versus a Surya, I think they might, and the fact that Surya अगर देखो तो मतलब even from the age perspective, I don't think he can play many World Cups.
I'll
Shreyas
just put
can.
you a question, right? you want to be like England. You want to have that team which can go out there and crack you 360 odd runs. And it's going to be a high scoring World Cup. I don't think that this World Cup is going to be any low scoring, because considering the due being there, it's that part of the season. It's going to be a high scoring World Cup with the venues like Dharamshala and everything else. It's going to be a very high scoring World Cup. And you need to score that extra 20 to 30 runs to stay in the hunt. I know bowlers will come good, but that 30 runs, you saw that in many of the series which you played as well. Those 20 to 30 runs is going to be a massive, massive factor. And that's where I personally think Surya, Hardik, Sanju, Jadeja makes a very good middle order for Team India.
Okay.
And then
So
you
basically
have
यहाँ
top three approach.
तो Rohit, Shubman, Kohli, Surya, then you're saying Sanju, and then Hardik, Jadeja.
Yeah.
Okay, so यहाँ पर what I understand is top 6 are all right-handers for you.
Yeah.
Wow.
Unfortunately.
मतलब again, I agree with you that कहीं ना कहीं we have to pick players on the potential and the form rather than left hand, right hand. But
Now, what do you do?
I think
If you
top
want to go for
6.
left-hander, you have Ishan Kishan, which can be a replacement for Sanju. But then it'll depend on the West Indies series. If India are looking at Ishan in middle order, they'll have to give him in the West Indies series. If not, that's it. That boat is going away very fast. Or else forget Ishan for the World Cup. Okay, I know you will give him in the Ireland series, Jaake Khelna, but I don't think that's way too late. If you're looking at Ishan, that's the other option. So it's between Ishan, if you want to try him out in middle order, which I don't think is the ideal factor, just because of the left hand factor, then give him in the West Indies series and see how he goes. Or else, unfortunately for India, it's going to be top 6, we're going to be right hand heavy. And that's been always the case with Team India, whether we have played in test format or one day or T20. We're not blessed with that left hand middle order, power left hand middle order who could come and change the game. After Yuvraj Singh's and the Raina leaving India.
इंटरेस्टिंग भाई मैं पूरा 11 भी बना रहा हूँ और यहाँ पर इश्यूज बहुत है यार मतलब वी आर टॉकिंग गाइस हम जब मैंने रियलाइज किया वी आर 3 months not even 3 months away from the World Cup yet another World Cup. Why are we all discussing and why are we all confused and including myself? And I'll be very honest, Abel has his point and I agree with him, but अगर मेरा कमेंट आप लोग देख रहे हो यहाँ पर मैं देखता हूँ, I'll come back to the other comment. भाई सब लोग लाइक कर दीजिए अगेन स्ट्रीम को. Do not forget to follow Abel on Instagram. His ID is below in the description. और हाँ कल अर्ली मॉर्निंग भाई हम प्लान कर रहे हैं ऑलमाइटी ब्लूज में, तो होपफुली आप ज्वाइन करो 5 बजे. रोहित, शुभमन, कोहली. What I understand is between Iyer, Sky and Kale for the number 4 spot yet again. Samson, according to Abel, to बोल रहे हैं Samson looks like a shoo-in because Ishan for him number 5 is too low. Or again, we are having other people who could have been options. Agar Kale keeping karta, they are going to Asian Games. And Shivam Dube, although वो 11 में रहेगा, is not realistic. Venki Iyer still could be a possibility, but it's been a long time since he played for India. Now Hardik Jadeja is a no-brainer. लेकिन Jadeja अक्सर is what I'm talking about. Jadeja starts, right, obviously. But again, maybe for group stages, for say against Netherlands, they might give अक्सर a chance for something like अगर हम उस position में हैं. Shardul, I think it probably will be Shardul / Siraj because number 8, we don't have a batsman like so anyone who could bat. अगर Shardul को नहीं.
You want to elongate your batting order, then you have no option other than to go for Shardul. But is he going to give you anything with the ball? Just because he's going to give it that 5 runs or 10 runs on his day, or on the other day he's going to be absolutely going out for duck as well. So I don't think he's nothing much but just a safety bag for Team India. So Shardul will be preferred option, as I mentioned. Shardul will be India's third.
मैं बोलूंगा ना अभी I'll stick out my neck and say मेरे भाई Abel, I know that even you do not disagree, but realistic I agree with you that what we are actually going to see happen will be Shardul. But I would stick out my neck and saying that even compared to Shardul, I would have Deepak Chahar because Chahar brings totally something else. Because Arshdeep Chahar दोनों ही नहीं आपके लेवल में हो, and Bhuvi is not there. I know Siraj has been brilliant with the ball swinging, but I think in Indian conditions, it's even more important that we get early wickets, and I think Chahar can be that guy. Well, for me, that's crucial. Well, we are all hoping and praying that Bumrah is fit and Siraj continues his form even 4 months down the line, 3 months down the line, right? Would you not want a second player? Or Chahar can bat. It's not like he cannot bat compared to Shardul.
If Chahar was going to be even part of the World Cup squad, he should have been part of this West Indies squad. Mukesh Kumar is a swing bowler you've opted for. Agreed. I'm so sorry to say you have gone with Unadkat and Mukesh Kumar, but not even Chahar, not even close by it. Not even T20 squad for that
Oh my
matter.
God, I'll
Chahar is
pull out my
totally
hair,
off
man.
India's radar in all formats at this point, unfortunately. So I don't say him coming into Team India just before the World Cup, and that's not the way. I don't think India is there part of India's probable 20 at this point. He's beyond 20th player. And he is not even part of the Asian Games for the matter. Can you imagine that? So he's not even there anywhere in India's radar to be playing for India. Okay, if he would have been part of India's Asian Games squad, I would have said, okay, at least he's there and thereabouts. Now he's not even there in any format. So which means Chahar is totally out of the contention. Shardul might just start. I mean Ashwin.
He's the
I hope
perfect
not.
number 8. Indian conditions,
I just hope
go out
not.
on a
Not
high, win the
again.
World Cup.
I love Ashwin, but not again. We're not making that same mistake we made for World Cup. At least not now. See that
नहीं लेकिन
confusion started the moment we picked Ashwin. Now we are like, oh, Ashwin Aya, he can be number 8. He's gonna be India's main spinner. But to be very honest, Ashwin, the white ball bowler, is past his time. I'm sorry to say, at least in 50 overs, he's past his time. And I don't
yeah.
think we should be making that mistake.
And people and the reason is because Predator Gaming मतलब नाम अच्छा है. I respect the guy, you know that. कहीं ना कहीं I've always said that he's been not rated. और मतलब हम जैसे जिस नजरिए से देखते हैं ना अनिल कुंबले हरभजन को, we don't look at Ashwin. But I think I would like to question why. But I agree that one day cricket में the batsmen don't go to hit as much as what in T20 they go. तो Ashwin के जो variations है, they are more effective in a T20 format than a one day game. Plus, let's be real, Ashwin's fielding is obviously one of the main reasons why that decline came about in terms of one day cricket. और कहीं ना कहीं लेकिन when you're talking about say ICC tournaments, we all remember Ashwin का moment. Abel, how can you forget, bro? पाकिस्तान के साथ लास्ट बॉल में you know what he did, बंदे ने आराम से
Yeah.
वाइट छोड़ा. मतलब those kind of things, at number 7 number 8 हम लोग बोल रहे हैं कि यार come on,
Yeah.
if top 6
But
cannot
for
bat,
me, but yeah, I
but
don't
it's very
think
important.
in one day cricket, as much as you don't need the number 8. I mean, if your top 7 are going to fail, what is the number 8 going to do for you? I mean, to be very fair, either you
But
make
that
your
देखो
bowling
मैं
equal
agree नहीं कर रहा
attacking.
Abel, but I'm just trying to put scenarios. There could be
I'll
scenarios
give a very
where
simple example, Ankit Bhaiya. If you
hmm,
remember that era from 2017 to 2019, that 2 years where we went out in South Africa and New Zealand, Australia, we had Hardik batting at number 7, and we had Bhuvi at number 8. I mean, Bhuvi is not the greatest of number 8, but the fact of the matter is, we played him with 4 proper bowlers, which included 2 attacking spinners, and third seamer being Hardik. And we tasted a lot of success doing that. So, I mean, we went with an attacking option. It's okay we not elongate our batting order, but we went on to taste success. And similarly, I think if India has to be attack minded, I think India should play 3 seamers or 3 proper spinners. I don't want India to play I'm not calling bits pieces, but yeah, a Shardul Thakur there. It's either going to be Akshar, Jadeja, Kuldeep for me, or Siraj Shami Bumrah, and then Kuldeep and Jadeja.
okay. तो भाई again there could also be again horses for courses हो सकता है. That's why we are talking about squads. लेकिन I think there could be a possibility again Aksar could be that guy for all we know. Remember Aksar, आप ये argue कर सकते हो, Aksar has been in better form than top order batsman left handers की बात करें ना. He has been so good. Again एक और नाम, I know we thought that he probably this might be this World Cup where he'll be coming in. Washington Sundar, we all know he had a bad injury and he's there in the Asian Games. So let's see how he does for the future. But I think Aksar, that is a possibility as well. If we are talking about the pitches turning enough and Hardik able to bowl say 8 overs as opposed to just 5 overs, I think there could be a possibility where we see Jadeja and Aksar playing along with Chahal, but maybe we might actually rotate between Siraj, Shami and Bumrah. And that might be one of the possibilities as well. क्योंकि हम मतलब I would rather, I don't know about you Abel, and I know Abel has to go in just a minute. भाई लेकिन सब लोग again give Abel a follow and hit the like button. भाई सब लोग, do you guys agree Abel? Last में remember we were not sure of a top order top
Yeah,
7. Remember last
yeah,
big World Cup 2019 की
yeah,
बात हो रही
yeah,
है यहाँ
yeah.
पर. But I think I'd rather have a bowling rotated and be us being a little bit unsure than a batting. I think that batting order
Yeah.
needs to be proper. I think given a choice, I would rather have that or bowling. Mein why? Because it gives a surprise element for the to the opposition
Yeah,
more compared to the
yeah,
batting,
agree.
right?
Bowling can still be more flexible in terms of the condition base, as I mentioned. If you are playing in Chennai, you can go with 3 spinners. If you're playing in any other condition, you can go with 3 spinners policy as well, 3 seamers policy as well. So bowling is still more condition based, but when it comes to batting, The moment you're unsure as to who's going to be your top four, top five, then that really puts a lot of insecurity into batter's mind. You had Vijay Shankar going as number four, top number four for World Cup, and you went to the World Cup in the first match. You're like, Vijay Shankar is not a number four. KL Rahul is our number four for the World Cup. Then Shikhar Dhawan gets ruled out. You say KL Rahul is our opener. Vijay Shankar is our number four. Then Vijay Shankar gets out. Rishabh Pant is our number
I
four.
totally forgot a name, guys. 45 minutes into the stream, I know Abel has to go. Bro, we didn't even discuss Shikhar Dhawan.
Yeah.
मैंने पोल में भी डाला था. We are talking left-handers, bro. मतलब think about it. Practically, it could be everyone going just one slot below. Maybe just in because KL is a wicket-keeper batsman. Assuming that he gets fit and India पता है back करेंगे, हमें पता है realistically. तो भाई रोहित starts actually with Shikhar. You have Shubman at one down, Kohli coming at two down. हम two down के बारे में unsure है. That could be a possibility. लेकिन अगर हमें चाहिए experience और ICC tournament, nothing better than Shikhar. He's not there in the Asian Games.
I think Ankit, the boat has moved on from Shikhar Dhawan, and the message is very clear. And right now, I mean, fortunately, unfortunately, is Yashasvi Jaiswal uh, who is the replacement for Shikhar Dhawan in that position, a left-hand opener, a swashbuckling one who can come in and do a job for them. And we all have to accept it. I know it's hard. He's done so much for Team India. He's been left out after that one bad Bangladesh series. But the fact of the matter is, we have to talk about ICC tournaments and records, but even if you look at Shikhar Dhawan, he had an okayish kind of a IPL. But the fact of the
Yeah,
matter is,
he didn't blow the
yeah, he didn't
sides away.
blow very hot, and that certainly means that the boat has moved on from him. And it's Yashasvi Jaiswal, who's our number three option. I don't think he's going to be the backup opener for
No,
India
my
in the
only
World Cup.
reason I spoke about it is because ICC tournament and the fact that he's not even in Asian Games.
Yeah.
Because we wanted a leader. कहीं ना कहीं हम ऋतुराज गायकवाड़ को leader बना रहे for the future is what I'm assuming.
Mm.
But again, guys, I know Abel, I've kind of got you here for a long time. भाई, हम
Yeah.
continue करेंगे stream को, guys. I'll continue and take your comments for another 10 minutes. We'll be talking about a little bit more here and there, absolutely about Indian cricket. लेकिन Abel को भाई big up हो जाए. Abel OP in the chat. Short notice पर Abel comes in. Abel, see you soon. By the way, quick prediction before you go. I know it's a very early prediction. I know Asia Cup की हम बात करने का मौका नहीं मिला, हम
Yeah.
chat से करेंगे थोड़ा. But what do you think? What are we expecting from India, and what is the real expectation in terms of the top two of the finals of the World Cup?
I've been very, very hard. I'm saying India to qualify for the semi-final for sure, like 100%. But as I mentioned, in the semi-final, it's tough because the teams are so highly competitive. If, for example, India are playing England in a semi-final, or even for that matter, New Zealand in a semi-final, in Eden Gardens or in Mumbai, considering those two are high-scoring venues, you never know. It's even Stevens there. Imagine in Mumbai, you lose the toss, you're put to bat first, and you're against a powerhouse English team or an Australian team. Then your chances in those conditions are becomes very minimal. Similarly, even in Eden Gardens, you lose the toss and you're put to bat first. Things can go out of your hands. So it comes down to that day. But I really see India qualifying for the semi-final. Then rest is up to how India goes about it. I hope India qualifies for the final. If India can beat that semi-final hurdle, I think India will be feeling a lot more better to play in front of 1 lakh fans in Narendra Modi Stadium. See, this is India's best opportunity in last 10 years to win a World Cup or to win
बिल्कुल.
any ICC trophy. And you're playing at home. You've got crowd. You've done well at home in the last 10 years in bilateral series. You've beaten almost every team who have come home, maybe except for Australia in recent past. But the fact of the matter is you have done well. You've done and you've dominated. You've scored 370s, 380s on consistent basis. You had likes of Shubman Gill scoring double centuries. You have Virat Kohli and Rohit Sharma, who's much more comfortable there. Then you have a strong middle order who will be comfortable batting at home than going out there and playing Australia or England or somewhere else. So at least in terms of our batting, India will be much more confident playing in these conditions, which are so familiar to us. But at the same time, in the knockouts, it comes down to that day. It comes down to who are those players who are going to raise their hands. Like you saw in 2011, you had Suresh Raina play a valuable 34 odd knock when India were in trouble, or you had Sachin Tendulkar score that 80 odd runs, or Sehwag giving us that start. So you need players who step up in these big occasions, or with the ball, you would want Hardik Pandya to pick up wickets, or for that matter, Jadeja to come good to make sure who's going to do that Yuvraj Singh kind of a role for the World Cup. who's going to be there with the bat and also with the ball, give India that balance. Can it be Hardik Pandya? Can it be Jadeja? Only time will tell us that. But we definitely know that you need that all-rounder to do well. If you look at all successful teams in the World Cup, there's been that one all-rounder who has done well for them. In 2019, it was Ben Stokes. In 2015, you had James Faulkner and Mitchell Marsh doing it. In 2011, you had Yuvraj Singh. In 2007, you had Shane Watson doing that for Australia. So you always had an all-rounder doing that for most of the great teams who have gone to win the World Cup. So it's going to be so important for India once again to rely on their all-rounder, because ultimately the balance comes down to that person. Like if India are 3 down, can he do? Can he save India? If India are chasing a score down, can he finish it off? Can he come in and break partnerships when there's a partnership building? It might not be big contribution. I'm not telling that he should go 500 runs and pick up 15 odd wickets. But the fact of the matter is, can he score 300 odd runs and pick us 8-9 wickets? That's all what we need from him.
100%. Great stuff from Abel. Of course, हम continue करने वाले. Abel, see you soon, bro. लेकिन
Yeah.
thanks a lot. Again, let's go. I'll be taking a few more comments and we'll be finalizing the final squad, at least from our end,
Sure.
and then comparing in couple of months down the line. I can see you soon, Abel.
Sure. Thank you, Ankit. Bless you always.
No,
Bye.
always welcome. Good night. People in the chat, भाई सब लोग, हम लोग कंप्लीट नहीं किए भाई. सब लोग यहाँ पर अगर सोच रहे हैं हम क्या बात करें, for people who just joined, firstly सब लोग like बटन दबा दीजिए. Come on, Almighty fam, घंटा gang, where is the like button pressed? Come on, let's hit that like button. अगर शेयर करें तो और भी अच्छा है. बहुत लोग और भी नाम बोल रहे थे, लाइक शिखर धवन हो गया, आपके दीपक चहर हो गए, अर्शदीप सिंह हो गए, अश्विन हो गए, बहुत सारे नाम जो एशिया कप में नहीं है, भुवी हो गए. इट कुड बी पॉसिबिलिटी दैट हम वापस से उन पर जाए. लेकिन केएल राहुल के बारे में यहाँ पर आदित्य ने पूछा है, व्हाट इफ केएल राहुल डजंट प्ले द एशिया कप, विल यू प्ले हिम द वर्ल्ड कप? नॉट एट ऑल, आई विल नॉट. वो सेम मिस्टेक हम नहीं रिपीट कर सकते भाई. हम हर एक आईसीसी टूर्नामेंट में आते इतना पास और सेम चीजें डिस्कस कर रहे. दैट्स द रीजन व्हाई वी आर डिस्कसिंग, बिकॉज हमें पता है कितना झंड है इंडियन सिलेक्शन कमिटी. हमें सब पता है भाई. 4 months बिफोर द वर्ल्ड कप वी आर पिकिंग आवर सिलेक्शन कमिटी हेड. जस्ट इमेजिन, दैट इज इंडियन क्रिकेट. इंडिया जहां पर पूजा जाता है क्रिकेट को, दिस इज व्हाट द इश्यू विद इंडियन क्रिकेट इज. 4 months before ODI World Cup, which is actual the real World Cup. Let's be real about it, ठीक है. लेकिन अगेन यहां पर आप देखो, एशिया कप 17 सितंबर, मैं रीजन बोल रहा हूं उसका, 17 सितंबर खत्म हो रहा है आदित्य. अस्यूमिंग वी गेट टू द फाइनल एंड वी विन इट, लेट्स गो विद दैट, ठीक है. लेकिन वर्ल्ड कप इट्स क्रेजी यार. इट्स वेरी क्लोज, इट्स वेरी क्लोज, वेरी क्लोज. लिटरली 2.5 हफ्ते के बाद अपना फर्स्ट गेम है. 2.5 weeks, 2 weeks later world cup is beginning after Asia Cup. We are talking about 2 to 3 weeks maximum period. वो कैंप के लिए होगा. आप केएल राहुल को खाली नहीं डाल सकते वहां पर. इसलिए मुझे पर्सनली लगता है देयर इज अ ह्यूज डाउट, ऑल्दो इंडिया लेगी. एक होता है हम क्या चाहते हैं, एक होता है क्या हम वो लोग लेंगे. मतलब आप सब लोग 15 लोग बोलिए एंड पुट इन द कमेंट्स इफ पॉसिबल. जैसे मैंने यहाँ डाला है ना, यहाँ पर देखते हैं. मैं अपना कमेंट वापस से हाईलाइट करता हूँ आप लोगों के लिए टू मेक इट सिंपल. व्हाट आई वांट फ्रॉम यू गाइस इज, फर्स्ट ऑफ ऑल पुट इन योर 11 एंड देन पुट इन 4 और लोग जो होंगे इन द 15-man squad, who are your top 15 players to be picked for the World Cup. If it's a 15-man squad, probably it's going to be 16 or 17, I'm assuming, considering it's at home. लेकिन पहले 11 बोलिए. ये आप क्या चाहते हो, एक उसके बारे में बात हो रही. देन विल क्विकली कम टू व्हाट विल एक्चुअली हैपन, knowing what Indian cricket has been in the last couple of years. Rohit Sharma, Shubman Gill opening is what I have put along with Abel and some of you in the chat. हमने डिस्कस किया. कोहली at number 3 of course, Rohit Sharma being the captain. Number 4 मुझे लगता है कहीं ना कहीं it might be different. अब क्या होना चाहिए is what we need, a proper batsman at number 4. मैं अगर मुझसे पूछो तो I would actually consider getting in Shikhar Dhawan because of his ICC tournaments experience, because of हम for whatever reason you've not done well in ICC tournaments recently, और उसमें शिखर धवन नहीं थे. So for me, Shikhar Dhawan would get a look in. Why? Because he brings the left-handedness, he brings the experience factor जो ईशान किशन में compared to नहीं है. ईशान किशन could be an option as well क्योंकि डबल सेंचुरी मारे, कहीं ना कहीं अनफेयर है उसके लिए. लेकिन मैं वर्ल्ड कप के लिए शिखर धवन कंसिडर करूंगा. I would actually get in Rohit, Shikhar to actually open with Shubman at number 3. Yes, why change when it's working, but it's a need because हमारी मिडिल ऑर्डर इतनी स्ट्रांग नहीं है. That is one option. Again, plan B में बोलूंगा. Number 4 कोहली. Number 5 could be your KL Rahul. अगेन इट कुड बी योर संजू सैमसन, वन ऑफ देम, राइट? क्योंकि अपना ऑलरेडी लेफ्ट हैंडर आ गया, तो यू डोंट नीड लेफ्ट हैंडर देयर। अगर आप कन्विंस नहीं हो स्काई के साथ, नंबर 6 हार्दिक, नंबर 7 जडेजा, इट कुड बी जडेजा एंड अक्सर, अगर स्पिन हो रही है, अगर ज्यादा मूवमेंट नहीं है, देन व्हाई डू यू वांट इन इंडियन पिचेस शार्दुल एज वेल। फिर आप खेलोगे चहल, सिराज, शमी, बुमराह में से दो, दैट इज वन ऑप्शन, लेकिन इसमें बैटिंग हैवी लग रहा है। ऑन दी अदर हैंड आप देखो तो 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 12 13 14 15 15 प्लेयर्स ऑलरेडी स्क्रीन पर है आपके। अगेन बॉलिंग बैकअप्स इनफ नहीं है। इफ यू आर पिकिंग, चलो 15 नहीं 16, हु आर योर 16 प्लेयर्स, लेट मी नो इन द चैट एवरीवन। और आपका बैटिंग ऑर्डर के हिसाब से बोलिए आफ्टर ऑल दिस कन्वर्सेशन। लुक, लेट्स सी व्हाट द चैट इज सेइंग। You just can't pick Bumrah, KL for World Cup if they're not fit for the Asia Cup. They need to have great campaign for Asia Cup if they are selected. Agreed. 100% agree. जो चीज केएल के लिए मैंने बोला वो चीज बुमराह के लिए भी लागू होगा। तो ओनली डिफरेंस बीइंग दैट बुमराह को आप फिर भी लोगे, इन माय पर्सनल ओपिनियन। व्हाई? बिकॉज बुमराह इज अ नेचुरल ओपनिंग बॉलर एंड अ डेथ बॉलर विच इंडिया लैक्स। राहुल, ही इज नॉट अ नेचुरल नंबर 5 बैट्समैन। वो खेल सकता है, वो अच्छा क्या इंडिया के लिए, बट इज नॉट अ नेचुरल नंबर 5 बैट्समैन। ही इज मोर लाइक अ टॉप 3 बैट्समैन, ठीक है, लेकिन वो नंबर 5 पे ही डज अ जॉब। अगेन कीपर भी इज नॉट द बेस्ट ऑफ द कीपर्स, ही इज अ कीपर बैट्समैन, यस वो बैलेंस देता है टीम को, बट अगेन कमिंग आफ्टर इंजरी। तो मैं बोलूंगा बुमराह के कंपेयर टू राहुल के और ज्यादा क्वेश्चन मार्क्स दूंगा, लेकिन इवन बुमराह हैज टू प्रूव हिमसेल्फ। इसलिए मैंने, आप गौर करिए क्या डाला चिन्ह में, मैंने डाला सिराज स्लैश शमी स्लैश बुमराह में से दो ही पिक होंगे इन माय पर्सनल ओपिनियन, बिकॉज हमारा नंबर 8 बैट्समैन बैटिंग नहीं कर पाता है। ओडीआई, इट्स नॉट टी20, इट्स नॉट टेस्ट मैचेस। हम लोग चाहेंगे नंबर 8 बैट्समैन थोड़ा कर पाए, ठीक है, बैटिंग। तो वहां पर मैं पर्सनली जाऊंगा दीपक चहर के साथ। दैट इज माई चॉइस बिकॉज वी नीड अर्ली विकेट्स एंड दैट इज व्हाट ही कैन ब्रिंग कंपेयर टू शार्दुल। और थोड़ा बहुत बैटिंग भी करता है, डिसेंट फील्डर भी है, लेकिन दीपक चहर हैजंट प्लेड इंटरनेशनल क्रिकेट फॉर अ व्हाइल। तो दैट इज वाई रियलिस्टिक नहीं लग रहा। जैसे मैंने बोला अबाउट केएल राहुल, ठीक है, ऑल्दो मैं चाहता नहीं हूं, लेकिन रियलिस्टिक लग रहा है कि यार अगर एशिया कप खेल लेता है तो आई थिंक इंडिया लेगी केएल राहुल को। दे विल नॉट टेक संजू सैमसन, दे विल नॉट टेक ईशान किशन, पॉसिबली ईशान किशन अगर शिखर धवन को नहीं ले। दैट्स व्हाट आई एम सेइंग। आयर मे बी मोस्ट इंपोर्टेंट विद हाउ गुड ही प्लेस स्पिन, लेकिन आयर को अगेन हमने हार्डली ट्राई किया। व्हाई डिडंट वी पिक हिम फॉर द वेस्ट इंडीज टूर? बिल्कुल बैन, बिल्कुल। नम्रता, नाइस टू सी यू, नाइस टू सी यू। Blue channel just saw a community post and came. Nice, that's great to know. Thanks a lot. Again, do not forget to hit that like button and the bell icon so that you know whenever we are live on either of the two channels. Predator Gaming का देखते हैं। रोहित, शिखर, कोहली, राहुल, सैमसन। ओ वाओ, आप राहुल और सैमसन दोनों को डाले और शिखर को भी डाले। एक सेकंड, शुभमन गिल कहां गए? प्रेडेटर गेमिंग, शुभमन गिल भाई, आप ईशान किशन और शुभमन गिल दोनों डबल सेंचुरियंस को हटा दियो। जस्ट रिमाइंडर, एक को हटाओ भाई, दोनों को नहीं चलेगा, लेकिन कोई नहीं, आपका है तो फेयर इनफ, आई रिस्पेक्ट दैट। अर्शदीप, अर्शदीप इज अ ह्यूज मिस। द फैक्ट दैट वो एशियन गेम्स में जा रहा है एंड लुक्स लाइक इज नॉट गोइंग टू वर्ल्ड कप इज अ ह्यूज ब्लो फॉर मी। अगेन, आपने मुकेश कुमार को भी बॉलिंग नहीं दी इनफ फॉर व्हाट एवर रीजन इन द टेस्ट मैच गोइंग ऑन। चिन्मय बोल रहे हैं यहाँ पर रोहित, शिखर, भाई ऑलरेडी दो लोग शिखर के लिए बोल रहे हैं, गिल, कोहली, अय्यर। हाँ, तो चिन्मय काइंड ऑफ ऑलमोस्ट अग्रीज विद मी, लेकिन अय्यर आपने लिया है। भाई एक सेकेंड मेरे भाई, इसमें कीपर कौन है? चिन्मय, आप कीपर मिस कर दियो, इफ आई एम नॉट रॉन्ग। हु इज द कीपर? दैट इज व्हाई आई एम सेइंग दैट अय्यर की जगह राहुल रियलिस्टिकली होंगे अगर वो एशिया कप खेलते ओनली देन। आज चेल्सी का वॉच अलॉन्ग होगा? बिल्कुल होगा, द रेड्स होगा। मैंने सेटअप नहीं किया लेकिन होगा, मैंने कम्युनिटी पोस्ट डाला। अगेन पीपल हिट द लाइक बटन्स इन ऑल द स्ट्रीम्स सो दैट यू आर रिमाइंडेड फ्रॉम अ कम्युनिटी पोस्ट ऑन बोथ द चैनल्स। अगेन दोनों ही चैनल्स नीचे हमेशा रहते हैं। बाय द वे, डू चेक आउट अ न्यू मेंबरशिप यार। मेंबरशिप ग्रुप्स में हमेशा मैं बोलता हूँ पीपल, अगेन इट्स अ वेरी बेसिक कॉस्ट विद ऑल द पर्क्स दैट यू गेट। चिराग नहीं भाई, अभी तो डेफिनेटली इंडियन माइंड। एज मच एज आई डोंट वांट राहुल इफ ही इज नॉट फिट, बट आई डोंट ट्रस्ट सैमसन। एक और चीज है भाई, यहाँ पर हम ये नहीं बोल रहे खाली फिटनेस इश्यूज, फॉर्म इश्यूज, मैच फिटनेस इश्यूज। वी आर ऑल्सो टॉकिंग अबाउट लेफ्ट हैंड राइट हैंड कॉम्बिनेशन। वी आर ऑल्सो टॉकिंग अबाउट समवन इन द टॉप 7 हु कैन बोल। वो भी एक इश्यू है, इसलिए हम बात लिए तो बहुत सारे भाई। अभी भी देखिए, लेस देन 3 months टू गो टू एन ओडीआई वर्ल्ड कप। हार्डली 2 चार्ट में देखा हूं जहां पर आप लोग सब लोग ने 15 बता दिया कि दीज आर द 15 एंड द सेम कमेंट हैज कम। That is the point. We are unprepared for an ODI World Cup. Bottom line, घर पे है. We are still unprepared. Yes, we might do very well, but honest to God, हम unprepared है. हम झंड जो सिलेक्शन करते हैं ना, जो सिलेक्शन कमेटी है, वेस्ट इंडीज टूर का आप देखो, इट कुड हैव बीन अ ग्रेट अपना मौका टू बेसिकली डू समथिंग, लेकिन नहीं, वी ऑप्टेड नॉट टू दैट. मतलब फॉर वॉट एवर रीजन, इवन इन द वेस्ट इंडीज टूर वी डोंट हैव एन अर्शदीप. वी डू नॉट, सिंपल एज दैट. हम हो सकता था, वी कुड हैव प्लेड a Tilak Verma in the ODIs of West Indies. Maybe he could have been the left-hander we are looking for in the top 5. Maybe a Rinku Singh. हम क्यों नहीं ले रहे in the ODIs of the World Cup? Yes, कहीं ना कहीं IPL से selection हुआ है, but I'm just saying, Shivam Dube, I will give him a break. We are missing that all-rounder, either a keeper batsman in the top 5 who bats left-handed or a batsman bowler who bats left-handed. We are missing that. और वो हम श्योर नहीं है. और रीजन, ठीक है, सब राइट हैंडर्स ले लो. आई एम नॉट गोइंग टू पिक लेफ्ट हैंडर्स फॉर द सेक ऑफ इट, लेकिन राइट हैंडर्स भी कन्विंसिंग नहीं है. कौन है अपना? Same. We are none of us are convinced by Surya. None of us are convinced in an ODI. I'm talking. None of us are convinced with an Iyer going by the fitness, with a Rahul going by the fitness and the form. तो अभी भी वो हम सेम कॉन्वर्सेशन में है. हार्दिक अगर बैट करता है ऊपर, तब नीचे मतलब हम एक और स्पिनर खिलाओ, अक्सर को खिलाओ जो अच्छा बैटिंग भी करता है. लेकिन फिर नंबर 8 वी स्टिल माइट बी पिकिंग शार्दुल. इज इट टू मेनी ऑलराउंडर्स? मतलब देयर इज अ बिग क्वेश्चन ब्रो. अभी भी श्योर नहीं है. मतलब हम इस स्ट्रीम में अभी तक we have not come to a conclusion. Can you believe that? That is how bad Indian cricket has been the last few months, a few years in fact. अब तो selection के प्रति unpopular opinion चिन्मय बोल रहे हैं, रोहित, शिखर, गिल, कोहली. I'd like Kohli at number 4 to give stability in middle order if God forbid if top order collapses like New Zealand. Yeah, I get. इसलिए मैंने बोला था रोहित, शिखर, गिल, कोहली, राहुल with हार्दिक, जडेजा, अक्सर is kind of sounding better to me. लेकिन उसमें कहीं ना कहीं होपिंग एंड प्रेइंग दैट हार्दिक बोल्स यू क्लोज टू 10 ओवर्स. दैट्स द इश्यू. वो बहुत ही ज्यादा बैटिंग हैवी हो गया ना. इम्पैक्ट प्लेयर नहीं है यार. निशांत बोल रहे रोहित, गिल, कोहली, हार्दिक, राहुल स्लैश सैमसन, ठीक है, अय्यर स्लैश स्काई. वाओ. तो बेसिकली आप बोल रहे हो अय्यर स्लैश स्काई एट नंबर 6. दैट्स क्वाइट लो फॉर देम इन माय ओपिनियन. यू आर सेइंग कुलचा स्टार्ट्स. नहीं, चहल नहीं बोल रहे हो आप बोल रहे हो कुलदीप खेल रहा है विद जडेजा. कुलदीप भाई विद जडेजा. ओके, दैट्स इंटरेस्टिंग. सिराज, बुमराह एंड शमी. देखिए, द पॉइंट इज, अगर आप खेलते हो ना, मुझे लगता है अगेन बुमराह होप करे ही प्लेज एंड ही इज अ स्ट्राइक बॉलर एब्सोल्युटली. एंड शमी एंड सिराज काफी अच्छा किए. आई एम बीइंग अनफेयर टू देम कहीं ना कहीं. बट इफ यू रियली थिंक अबाउट इट, इफ वी प्ले सिराज, शमी और बुमराह तीनों, अगर हम तीनों को खेलते हैं and we are sure we'll go with one proper only spinner like Kuldeep Bhai or Chahal, one of them, right? So problem can be that we don't have a number 8 who can bat. That could be a problem as well. It's a 50 over format. Remember, it's not a T20. यहाँ पर issue हो सकता है genuinely, knowing how a top order has been doing in major tournaments. I think that is a problem. लेकिन शार्दुल, is it more convincing than? nahi, I don't think so. I personally would say Indian pitches par hai, I would go with an Aksar. I would go with an Aksar. I would go with I would play 3 spinners और आपके 3 fast bowlers including हार्दिक. बहुत रिस्की है, बट आई वुड रादर गो विद दैट. आई पर्सनली वुड गो. लेकिन रियलिस्टिकली होगा नहीं. मुझे लगता है अब रियलिस्टिक में आ जाते हैं. क्या होगा, क्या हम चाहते हैं, हमने सब बोला है. अगेन मेरा वापस से रिपीट करता हूं, मेरा जो होगा इन टर्म्स ऑफ द प्लेइंग 11, ठीक है, मैं यहां पर बोलता हूं भाई, मैं जो बोल रहा हूं, अगेन धवन पार्ट ऑफ द स्क्वाड में बोल रहा हूं फॉर श्योर. बट आई थिंक द फैक्ट दैट वी डोंट हैव अ लेफ्ट हैंडर, आई थिंक मेक सेंस. तो आई थिंक वी माइट गो विद रोहित, धवन, शुभमन, कोहली. ये मैं जाना चाहता हूं, सॉरी. नंबर 5 पे यू हैव मे बी केएल. देन यू हैव नंबर 6 हार्दिक, जडेजा, अक्सर. बहुत सारे ऑलराउंडर्स, बट आई थिंक दैट मेक्स मोर सेंस फॉर मी. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 सेकंड मैं बना रहा हूं अपना 11, देन मैं कमेंट करने वाला हूं, ठीक है. देन यू हैव अभी देखना आप लोग, अब बोलना आप लोग, व्हाट डू यू थिंक. अगेन यू माइट डिसएग्री, बट दैट्स व्हाट यू वुड से. आई थिंक आई एम मोर कॉन्फिडेंट इन दिस 11 प्लेइंग इन इंडियन कंडीशंस, मोस्ट ऑफ द मैचेस जो मैं अभी कमेंट किया हूं. अरे डेफिनेटली यार करिए, एब्सोल्युटली करिए यार. वी आर गोइंग टू एंड द स्ट्रीम इन जस्ट 5 मिनट्स, लेकिन कोई नहीं. यार कैन बॉल ऑफ स्पिन वाला ऑप्शन नहीं है आदित्य यार, नो नो प्रॉब्लम. लेकिन रोहित, धवन, शुभमन, कोहली, केएल, हार्दिक, जडेजा, अक्षर, चहल, सिराज, शमी. व्हाट इज द प्रॉब्लम इन दिस? हार्दिक इज द थर्ड बॉलर, यस, क्योंकि काफी बॉलिंग कर रहा है, कहीं ना कहीं बहुत रिस्क है. बट आई थिंक हम सिराज और शमी और बुमराह का अब ले रहे हैं. आई थिंक इट्स गुड इनफ फॉर मी. अगेन बुमराह अगर बीच मैच में इंजर्ड हो जाए तो इश्यू है, तो दैट्स व्हाई मे बी शमी इफ इज नॉट 100% फिट. लेकिन आई एम रादर कंफर्टेबल, क्योंकि इसमें क्या है ना, आपके पास है गेम चेंजर्स बेसिकली इन हार्दिक, जडेजा और अक्सर इन दोस गेम चेंजिंग स्पॉट्स. फिर आपके पास है धवन, अ लेफ्ट हैंडेड एक्सपीरियंस बैट्समैन हु डन वेरी वेल इन आईसीसी टूर्नामेंट्स. और आपका नंबर 3 and 4, नथिंग कुड बी मोर सॉलिड देन शुभमन एंड कोहली इन माय पर्सनल ओपिनियन. तो आई थिंक दिस मेक्स सेंस. ऑल्सो याद रखिए, शुभमन इवन इन टेस्ट मैचेस हैज बीन मूव टू नंबर 3. I'm just saying it could be one of the possibilities. ये मैं चाहता हूँ. Or that automatically means the rest of the 4 people who are not in the 11 would be, in my opinion, Surya has to be in the squad because he's a game changer. I would rather have him in the squad, और floater भी हो सकता है अपना. Then you have obviously, मैं चाहता हूँ दीपक चहर. I am not with Shardul Thakur, the Lord Shardul. He's very good, but I would rather have Deepak Chahar because he swings the ball more. I would also have Arshdeep, जो एशियन गेम्स में जा रहा है, I know, but I would also have Arshdeep because the left-handedness is something जो हमें चाहिए. फिर obviously कुलदीप भाई. That's what I'm saying. तो I am saying 16 members ये होंगे मेरे. लेकिन अब रियलिस्टिकली बात करते हैं. रियलिस्टिकली डेफिनेटली मैं अग्री करता हूँ आदित्य के कमेंट से, 100% आई एग्री. देखिए आदित्य के क्वेश्चन में आ रहे, एक मिनट में. कोहली एट नंबर 4, नो ही इज ऑल्सो अगेंस्ट दैट. इंडिया ट्राइड बिफोर 2000, ही वाज बैड एट नंबर 4. मतलब किसी को तो खेलना पड़ेगा भाई. आप whom would you want निशांत given a choice? अगेन मैंने बोला जो मैं चाहता हूं, जो होगा वो अलग, उस पर आएंगे. दिस इज द टीम विच आई वांट. This is a 12 which I want, and then the remaining players are your Surya, who's a proper batsman. Then you have Kuldeep Bhai, who's a proper bowler. Arshdeep, different seam bowler. और दीपक चहर डिफरेंट सीम बॉलर. ये है मेरे 11 और फिर 16 रादर. लेकिन रियलिस्टिकली जो होगा, मैं बोलता हूँ आप लोगों को, आप लोग भी बोलिए रियलिस्टिकली क्या होगा. व्हाट इंडियन थिंक टैंक विल डू. अगेन केएल इज आर ओनली ऑप्शन राइट नाउ, इसलिए मैंने डाला है कहीं ना कहीं. मे बी मैं आई वुड हैव प्रेफर्ड सैमसन, अगर सैमसन अच्छा करता है वेस्ट इंडीज में, ठीक है, आई रादर हैव दैट. लेकिन रियलिस्टिकली होने वाला है रोहित ओपन विद शुभमन, कोहली 1 डाउन, 2 डाउन होने वाला है सूर्या. आई एम टेलिंग यू गाइस, 2 डाउन सूर्या खेलने वाला है. आई एम टेलिंग यू गाइस, ठीक है. 3 डाउन खेलने वाला है केएल राहुल खेलने वाला है 3 डाउन. मैं एक्चुअली ऑन सेकंड थॉट में चाहता हूँ सैमसन ओवर केएल इफ गिवन अ चॉइस, ठीक है. फिर नंबर 6 आने वाले हार्दिक, नंबर 7 आने वाले जडेजा, नंबर 8 आने वाले शार्दुल, ठीक है. नंबर 9 आने वाले हैं आपके सिराज. नंबर 10 वुड बी इधर शमी और बुमराह, और नंबर 11 चहल. ये होने वाला है रियलिस्टिक पर्सपेक्टिव. और अक्सर विल बी पार्ट ऑफ द स्क्वाड, नॉट ऑफ द 11. देन यू विल हैव कुलदीप भाई पार्ट ऑफ द स्क्वाड, मे बी बिकॉज इंडियन कंडीशन 2 स्पिनर्स एक्स्ट्रा ले हम लोग. लेकिन we will be short on pacers in my opinion, in my personal opinion. I genuinely believe we'll be short on that. तो again batting we will not take much backup in my opinion. वो गलती हो जाएगी. देखते देखते बाकी लोग क्या बोल रहे हैं. पंत का तो चांस नहीं है ब्रो. वर्ल्ड कप तो चांस नहीं है. as much as we would love it भाई, हम राहुल का भी क्वेश्चन मार्क दे रहे हैं. राहुल का क्वेश्चन मार्क दे रहे हैं. श्रेयस अगर क्वेश्चन मार्क करे तो पंत तो दूर की बात है. आई वुड प्रेफर मैच फिटनेस, एक चीज होती है ना अक्षर. आई वुड प्रेफर शमी बुमराह टुगेदर. दैट्स वेरी वेरी. लेकिन वही है ना, बेसिकली सिराज फॉर्म से जा रहा हूं मैं अरे, कंपेयर टू शमी ऑन फॉर्म. आई थिंक मोस्ट विद गो विद सिराज बेस्ड ऑन फॉर्म. नंबर 1 बॉलर यार फॉर अ गुड वाइल नाउ. इंडियन सेलेक्टर चॉइस रोहित, शुभमन, कोहली, अय्यर. आप बोल रहे हो अय्यर, ओके. मुझे लगता है सूर्या होगा. हाँ मे बी अय्यर हो सकता है. हार्दिक, जडेजा, चहल, सिराज, शमी, बुमराह. नहीं, आई थिंक नंबर 8 शार्दुल खेलेंगे इन माय ओपिनियन. इट्स एन ओडीआई वर्ल्ड कप. बट अगेन यार, इट्स अप फॉर डिस्कशन. बिग अप टू एवरीवन हु हैज जॉइंड. जो भी लोग लाइक नहीं किए कि स्ट्रीम को, लेट्स लाइक द स्ट्रीम, और डू नॉट फॉरगेट टू चेक आउट आवर मेंबरशिप स्कीम्स एज वेल गाइस. एंड यस, बाय द वे, लिटरली 5 घंटे में मैं लाइव वापस हुई भाई. मुझे सेटअप करना है स्ट्रीम, और आई होप आई डोंट गो टू स्लीप. मैं कल दिन में छुट्टी लिया तो भाई सोने का सोच रहा हूँ भाई सब लोग. होपफुली यू गाइस जॉइन अस ऑन ऑलमाइटी ब्लूज एंड वी लुक एट 5:15 बजे हम रहेंगे लाइव. बिग अप टू एवरीवन हु जॉइंड यार. बिग अप, ऑलवेज मच लव, ऑलवेज अ फैन चैनल फॉर ऑल सी घंटा गैंग. लेट्स गेट द लाइक्स अप भाई. एक लाइक बटन डेफिनेटली हेल्प्स और हिट दैट बेल आइकॉन ऑन बोथ द चैनल्स. ऑलमाइटी ब्लूज में 5:15 लाइव है. आदित्य बिग अप, ब्रोकन बॉय बिग अप, चिन्मय बिग अप, आदित्य बिग अप. आदित्य का हुआ मैं देखा नहीं हूँ भाई. नेक्स्ट टाइम कंटिन्यू करेंगे. चिन्मय ऑफ कोर्स, अक्षत, कौन निशांत का नाम ले लिया था मैंने, पुदिन ऑफ कोर्स, बिग अप यार, प्रेडेटर गेमिंग 100%, चिराग, the Reds as well as Namrata in the house. Subrat, Abel of course, Om, Abhishek. ये ऑप्शन क्या है कि उसमें डिसरेस्पेक्टफुल लगा यार. ऑप्शन है भाई, इट्स नॉट अ डिक्लेरेशन मेरे भाई. डजंट नथिंग डिसरेस्पेक्टफुल, इट्स एन ओपिनियन. हम अश्विन के बारे में बात करते हैं. वी डोंट लुक एट हिम एज अ लेजेंड. आई थिंक ही इज, बट एनीवे निरंजन को भी बिग अप भाई. बिग अप टू एवरीवन हु जॉइंड. अगेन रिमेंबर वी आर लाइव 5:15 बजे, बट काफी लंबी स्ट्रीम हो गई. आई हैव टू सेट अप द स्ट्रीम ऑन ऑलमाइटी ब्लूज. बाय द वे आई एम येट टू हैव डिनर एज वेल. पागलपंती स्पोर्ट्स के बारे में हम जब करते हैं ना हम भूल जाते हैं. आई जस्ट फॉरगॉट टू हैव डिनर, आई जस्ट रियलाइज. चलो भाई, लेट्स मीट अप एट 10 minutes to 5:30. Hopefully मैं सो नहीं. And always a fan channel for all to see. Let's hit that like button. Love you all. Come on India, दिखा दो. West Indies test match भाई. Any changes you would like? I would like to see Unadkat get more bowling और ईशान किशन कम ओवर जडेजा एंड बैटिंग और मुकेश कुमार को खिला दो इन प्लेस ऑफ शार्दुल. आप बोलिए क्या चाहते हो इन द वेस्ट इंडीज टेस्ट मैच स्टार्टिंग. बट एशेस विल बी इंटरेस्टिंग. विल बी कवरिंग मोर इन द नेक्स्ट couple of days on both the channels. See you all in the morning. Bye.